Get it straight, Buster. I'm not here to say please. I'm here to tell you what to do. And if self-preservation is an instinct you possess, you better do it, and do it quick. I'm here to help. If my help's not appreciated, then lots of luck, gentlemen. If I'm curt with you, it's because time is a factor. I think fast, I talk fast. I need you guys to act fast if you want to get out of this. So, pretty please, with sugar on top. Listen to Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond.
Get ready to thrive loud with Lou Diamond.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond, connecting you to the most inspiring and amazing people that are thriving each and every day. I'm your host, Lou Diamond. Today on Thrive Loud, we have the host of Entrepreneurs on Fire. He's interviewed over 3,000 of the world's most successful entrepreneurs. He's got a new book, The Common Path to Uncommon Success. It lays out the exact roadmap you need to unlock your potential and create the life you and your family deserve. It's been 2.5 years since he's been back on Thrive Loud. I cannot wait to get this conversation going. Prepare to ignite this podcast because we have John Lee Dumas. JLD, what is up, my friend? How are you?
Sweet Lou, I am happy to be here, brother. It's going to be a great conversation with some great people, and I am prepared to ignite.
You're always igniting. I guess we're going to give an indirect shout out, right? Because we've always been connected, but someone said in a very funny Swiss accent, hey, you need to have JLD back on the show. And I'm like, yeah, bring him back on if he wants to come because he's got a book coming out. I'm like, what?
Promo mode.
So shout out for Martin Lindstrom here. All right. So first of all, let's catch up. You're chilling in Puerto Rico. The show's still rocking and rolling. What you've been up to before we talk about the book itself? Let's catch up with you. How are you doing? Life.
I'm doing great, man. Listen, once you get to a certain place, as far as your business is running, you've got things set up at the home life, you start to say, hey, like, what is this really all about? And for me, it's like, how can I feel the best? Like, how can I have the best friendships and connections and experiences? And that's really what the past few years of my life have been. I've been all about traveling the world. I've been doing a 90-day trip every year with my fiance. We go to somewhere amazing around the world. I'm super focused and dialed in on my health. I get amazing sleep every night, amazing hydration, put the right supplements in my body, put the right food in my body. For the most part, I'm far from perfect, but I am getting better all the time. And, I'm 41 years old, so I'm not a spring chicken, but I feel great. I'm energized and I'm in as good a shape as I've been at any point in my life. And just continuing to look to bring the next 60 years to fruition.
If you're 41 and not a spring chicken, what does me being 50 be? Man, I must be like an old rooster, I guess.
You did look fantastic for 50, my man.
It's not so bad. The follically challenge is always an issue.
Yeah, if you had a mop of hair in your head, you would look 30.
It's good. The lack of wrinkles and the fact that I'm not in the sun as much as you are would do that.
But you're lacking vitamin D, unfortunately.
That's true. I could use a little bit more. Although I got some right here across my nose because we were out in the sun or the wind. But this is probably frostbite.
The sun, yeah, it says frostbite. That's a little different.
Okay, so before I get to the book, I got to ask this question here because this podcast of yours is just epic and continues to roll. Do you feel? I know you're blessed with this wonderful life that you've been focused on yourself. You're still giving that same energy and fire to every single one of the episodes because it's a lot. You've been doing it for a while.
It's my Super Bowl. It's one of those things where if I had to wake up every single day and do a podcast episode, like I wouldn't be able to do it with the same energy and fire that I try to bring to every single show. But I don't do that. I set myself up in a very strategic and intentional way. 2 days per month, I have a full day of interviews, at least 8 interviews for 2 days of the month. And so if I can't just be on absolute fire 2 days per month for my show, Entrepreneurs on Fire, I don't deserve to be a host. So I wake up, I drink the requisite amount of coffee. I've gotten the requisite amount of sleep the night before. I've already exercised because my interviews don't actually start till 10 a.m. So I have plenty of time to exercise, hydrate, feel great, all those things. And then I go all in. And I go all in for 8 hours. Like, is it really asking that much? I mean, most human beings have to go to work for 8 hours doing something they hate. I only have to talk to 8 people who I enjoy talking to for 8 hours. So of course I'm still able to bring the same energy and fire because I love what I do. I love the impact that it makes, and I'm going to continue igniting those fires.
It's fun because I'll actually say this. I did a little spot listen, and I do this with myself too. You become a better interviewer with every single one of those things. I would never know that you were on an 8-hour binge of podcasting through 1 through 8, because they're all through the same level and the same intensity each time. So kudos to you.
And sometimes, by the way, like I get to number 8 and I'll tell the person, I'm like, oh, you're my 8th interview today. They're like, oh man, I wish I was on the earlier side. I'm like, well, that's you. But frankly, I've been like sucking the energy like a vampire out of every one of my guests. So you're getting the best version of JLD right now. So they're always wrong. My last interview of the day is always my best because that's just the kind of person I am. I'm an extrovert. I'm an 8 on the Enneagram. That's how I roll.
I love the common path to uncommon success. And now I want to dive here because you've got steps to deal with this, but it is true. You've had an uncommon career, and even just the way you just mapped out your podcasting, very few people do that schedule that you do. I do once a week and we have like binge recording in that day, but I don't push 8. I guess I just don't have the energy level.
I used to
Maybe not yet.
16, by the way.
16?
I know, mental.
That would be a lot.
A lot.
That's like running. That's like, when I hear people run triathlons, I'm like, really? After the swim, you still want to go?
Not my thing.
Not my thing either. Okay, but you've had an uncommon path, or a common path to uncommon success. I guess that's really it. Let's actually play with those words for a little bit. Would you think that your path is actually kind of common, or do you feel it's actually been a different way, but you figured out how to be more successful in a unique way?
This is what I know. I know that if you're hearing my voice, you have been lied to. At some point in your journey, you've been lied to, because the reality is this: the path to uncommon success, the path to the type of success that you want to achieve, it's not complicated. It's not hidden. It's not secrets, as a lot of people would lead you to believe and lie to you to believe. It's a common path to uncommon success. And as you said, and you shared, since 2012, I've now interviewed over 3,000 of these successful entrepreneurs. I myself have been running a 7-figure a year business for 8 years in a row. So I'm a proven commodity. Every single one of my guests that I brought on is a proven commodity. And when I sat down to create what I thought was going to be this really interesting 17-step roadmap to success, I was shocked to see that almost every single one of the 3,000 people, including myself, have taken the same fundamental steps in this journey. And so when I wrote out these 17 steps, I said, it is crazy that this chronological step that I have laid out before me, these chronological 17 steps, has been trod upon by almost every single one of the 3,000 successful entrepreneurs that have come before me and have been on my show. It's a common path. It's not secret. It's not hidden. It's not complicated. It's not easy, by the way, by a long stretch. It's hard work, but it's a common path that we all can follow. And that's the point of this book. This is a common path to uncommon success, your version of uncommon success. So if you want to achieve the type of financial freedom and lifestyle that a lot of us want, then you need to follow this 17-step roadmap that I didn't create by myself. I created from just looking and listening and hearing and seeing and personally experiencing this roadmap to uncommon success. And this is what I wanted to get out in the book. And man, I spent all of 2020 writing this puppy. This wasn't some like, I sat down last night and then I wrote all weekend and it was done. It was like, no, this was all year, sweating blood, sweat, tears into this book, 71,000 words, Lou.
Wow.
And I went all in, my man. I partnered with HarperCollins. This is personally endorsed by Gary Vaynerchuk, Seth Godin, Neil Patel, Erica Mandy, Dory Clark. Like, this is real deal Holyfield. And it's my masterpiece thus far.
First of all, kudos to you on using 2020 in this way. And I think I saw on social media, there were moments of you just saying, I'm going through the process. Look who I'm just, by the way, I'm a huge fan of Seth's and obviously Gary V's. When they saw this plan, did they also agree that this was a common path to uncommon success?
100%. They would not have endorsed it otherwise.
Yeah.
This is the path they took. This is the path that they shared in some semblance on my podcast and in other ways in other interviews. Because like you, I'm a fan of both of those individuals, and I've consumed almost all of their content, and I've used, all of those things to help construct this. In fact, Seth Godin, as I'm sure doesn't just endorse any book. Like, he actually reads the book, and then he actually sent me an email the following day and was like, let's jump on a call because this is a special book and I want to help you walk through the book launch process so you get this part right, because it's easy to get it wrong. And this is my first, traditionally published book. So we sat down, had a 45-minute chat, and man, he's a good dude.
So just a note on Seth here. At the end of the year, JLD, I sent out a message to about 7 people who I kept on their distribution list. Like, they have a daily or weekly or monthly email, him being one of them. I get his message every day. I reply back, I go, you are staying in my inbox. And I replied back, and Seth replied back, and he was like, thank you, Lou. I'll keep it interesting. And his ability, but this is interesting because that's a lot of words you just put down there. And under the motto of be brief, be bright, be gone, Seth is as concise as it gets. Did you find your style? I love learning about the writing process. Specifically, it took you all a year to go do it. As you were decoding to get to these 17 steps, to someone who is more of an orator and a verbal thinker, how did this process go for you? Did you enjoy putting this all together, like the writing process?
I loved it, but in small sprints. Like, I could never do more than 2 hours a day. That was just my thing. Like, I can do 8 hours of interviews a day. I could do 2 hours max of writing a day. So the first 2 hours of my day every day was just writing this book. And if this book could have been 69,999 words, it would have been, but it couldn't be. Like, every word in this book has to be there. I am so concise in how I speak and in how I write. Like, I get right to the point. I don't fluff things up. Every single word has to be in this book. It's 273 pages that have to be there. And that was my process. The first 2 hours of every day, I wrote this book. And luckily, again, I partnered with HarperCollins. So I had a professional team behind me. The editing was flawless. Everything about it has been a great setup so far, and I've really enjoyed it.
Okay, so now comes the let's tease it a little bit, because that would be my job here. I'm not going through all 17 steps. Lord knows I couldn't do 16 hours of straight podcasting, which you used to be able to do. But
I wouldn't do it either. Don't worry about it.
Was there a step in there that surprised you that you'd be willing to share with our listeners? One of the steps that you found almost maybe like, wow, that seemed almost too obvious that was one of the key steps.
Step 7 is create your content production plan. I started off writing that chapter just like any other chapter, and I got done and I was like, oh my God, this chapter alone is 15,000 words. This is such a beast of a chapter. This could be a book in and of itself. I mean, some business books are 15, 20, 25,000 words tops. This chapter was the chapter that made me go, oh, that's why we've been making and netting 7 figures of revenue every year for 8 years with 3 virtual assistants and just myself and Kate. This is why, because we have a content production plan that is frankly close to flawless. Nothing's flawless in this world, and this is close to it. Our systems, our tools that we use, our automations, it is unbelievable what has gone into over the years in developing, creating, and then just absolutely near perfecting this content production plan. And I put it all in that chapter. And I had Kate read it afterwards. She's like, oh my God, this is insane. So that was kind of a surprise. And that was just one of those things where it's like, okay, like I'm kind of glad I wrote that out, because now I kind of get it. Like, I've always understood like why, because we work really hard. We always put our listeners first, and I'm always trying to be a person of value before anything else. But then you see something like this content production plan that we've put in place, and you're like, this is it. This is what 99% of people don't have, that complain about, the fact that they can't stay consistent, or they can't, continue to produce the type of quality content they want to. This is the reason.
It's really great that you mentioned this, just because I know very recently you had Melanie Diesel as a guest on your show, the content framework, which she puts together. And she was great in that. And in that episode, you guys got into it a little bit about the passion that you have for the content, which I thought was really cool. So I look forward to that. See, and we gave a shout out to Melanie, who rocks.
Allah.
So. All right. So you're excited about it. Let's just do the fun part here. How excited are you about being on this side of the mic for a little bit, going around my shows, other people promoting this stuff? Because it's a job. It is what it is. But I know you probably like being on the receiving end now.
So it's a blast. I'm on the road show. I'm in total promo mode right now. And it's not super abnormal to me, to be honest with you, because one of the things of running Podcasters Paradise now for 7 years and having over 6,000 members, having joined over the years, kind of a rite of passage has always been for people that join Paradise and just other individuals that create a lot of content. They'd like to have me on their show. So I've always had 1 day per month that I've blocked off to do 20 episodes on other shows. And that was the time that we talked last. Yeah,
that's right. I got a 10-minute window. I was very excited.
It was 15.
I know. I'm just busted in.
I give everybody a nice 15-minute window. And I just say, hey, let's skip the tell me about yourself question, because that's your job as a host anyway. So create the intro afterwards, do the outro, make it a meaty episode. But believe me, those 15 minutes are magical. Now, of course, because you're a stud, I gave you more time today than the typical 15. But the reality is this, I love getting on other people's shows and sharing my knowledge and sharing the value that I have learned over the years. And it's something that, I'm excited about, because there's a reason why we've been able to 89 months in a row publish an income report that has a net profit of over $100,000 every month for 89 months in a row. We bring our lawyer on for a tax tip, for a legal tip. We bring our CPA on for a tax tip. We make it a really valuable income report. And I have a lot to share.
I'm psyched. This one I'm getting. This is no bullshit. I'm getting it, especially that content piece. I want to see.
Yeah, no joke, right? And I have a lot of failures to share too, though, man. I have made plenty of mistakes. And we love talking about those. And that's why actually for the first 2,000 episodes of Entrepreneurs on Fire, my first question was, what's your biggest failure as an entrepreneur? What's your biggest flop? Let's talk about that story, because those are important.
Let's do this. I'm going to go through the road part to be conscious of time. And also, I can't wait to go down Fun Street with JLD. All right. So let's do the plug. Share with the listeners, websites, URLs, things like that, things they need to know, launch dates, or it's already out. Pre-order right now. So tell us where it is. We'll put it all in the show notes. Hearing it from JLD is going to get crazy engagement. So go, my friend.
So it's available for pre-order. Don't wait. You need to pre-order. In fact, if you pre-order, you're getting 5 amazing bonuses that all disappear the day the book goes live. So don't wait. When the book goes live, there will be 0 bonuses. If you pre-order now, you will get 5 amazing bonuses. And I'll just tease one of them right now, but one of the bonuses is I am shipping all 3 of my journals, the Freedom, Mastery, and Podcast Journal, to the door of every single person who pre-orders. If you pre-order 1 copy of The Common Path to Uncommon Success, which, by the way, is my best work ever, is a culmination of 9 years of 3,000 episodes of over $20 million of generating revenue, living lifestyle freedom with just 3 virtual assistants and figuring it all out. It's my best work ever. You're also getting $150 worth of journals shipped to your door if you're in the US, the digital version for those outside. Plus, there's 4 other insane bonuses, but we won't talk about those now, Lou. You have to visit uncommonsuccessbook.com. uncommonsuccessbook.com. There's a great video there with some more details about the book, all my endorsements, the bonuses all listed out, and of course, links to pre-order. So get your booty over there.
Before we go to Fun Street, people need to know who only heard this episode. I actually just witnessed in front of my very eyes the fan effect of showing his journals go across the camera. He's got it down to almost like a magician-like way of doing it. Okay. Permission to go down Fun Street with you, JLD.
Permission granted.
We're going to revisit this really quickly. Do you have a movie right now that's one of your favorites that you love to watch or rewatch?
Legends of the Fall.
Why does that movie connect so much with you?
it just brings me back to a simpler time when it was just this beautiful location on the river in Montana and just able to absolutely, live life in the wild. And the actors, by the way, are insane. I think Brad Pitt, Anthony Hopkins, a couple other really good actors and actresses. So I love that movie.
Pretty sure my wife cannot move away from the TV when that one's on. There's too many good looking guys. Okay. Speed round of Fun Street. I'm going to ask you something. You come back with the immediate response that you think of. These are things that lift you up, make you feel good, make you thrive. Ready?
Ready.
Okay. A favorite song you love to hear that pumps you up?
Eye of the Tiger.
Favorite food that's not a dessert?
Broccoli.
Favorite dessert?
Ben and Jerry's ice cream.
An activity you wish you did more of?
Pickleball.
An activity you wish you did less of?
Peloton.
If you could snap your fingers and go anywhere in the universe, where are you?
Mars.
Really? JLD in the house. The common path to uncommon success. Keep killing it, my friend. Great to see you again.
Thanks, Lou.
You got it. And to all the listeners out there, keep thriving onward and upward. And remember, brief, be bright, be gone.
You've been listening to Thrive Loud with your host, Lou Diamond. Head on over to Spotify, Good Pods, or wherever you get your podcasts, and subscribe and listen to all of our incredible episodes. Follow Lou at Thrive Loud everywhere on social media, and head on over to thriveloud.com to connect directly to Lou and learn how you and your business can thrive loud too. Thanks for listening.